Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thought it was about time we do a walkthrough of the old blue Jeep. Let's start back in 2021, COVID, and we needed a new Jeep for an overlanding adventure. Our son was getting ready to go to college, and we knew it was probably going to be one of the last vacations that we got to take as a family, as a whole. And we were one of those typical families from our area in the eastern United States that we would always go to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg in Tennessee, or go to the beach. That was our go-to vacations with the family. And that's what we typically did while the kids were young. This time we wanted to shake it up a little bit and we wanted to go west. Well, we had the old yellow Rubicon and way over 200,000 miles, and I just didn't trust it. So the search was on. So we started searching. We wanted the Jeep that was just built just a little bit to help speed up the process because we was in a particular time crunch. So we got this in, I think, February of 21, and our goal was to leave out west on a 3-week family adventure in June. So there wasn't much time left to do a whole lot of modifications. So that's when they were giving away COVID money, hand over fist. So we took advantage of that and bought the tent, bought the rack. So it's a 2015 Rubicon, and it's wrapped in digital blue vinyl wrap. That kind of caught our eye. It already had a lift on it. That kind of caught our eye. So let's go ahead and start at the front, and we'll just work our way back. So up front, we've got a X2O Smitty built 10,000 pound winch with synthetic line. We have a Smitty built Stinger front bumper. We have aux beam 5-inch yellow lights. These lights are in my budget. That's why I bought them. Sure, I'd love to have some of the more expensive name brand lights, but unless I'm going to be running Baja or a race, and I'm not racing, these do just fine, and they'll do just fine for you as well. They're affordable. They look like the knockoff high dollar units, and they work great. So it is what it is. I've got some very cheap Amazon no name LED driving lights up front. Again, they work great. Cheap Amazon no name headlights, yeah, they could be better. I'd like to upgrade those. And over here we've got the Rugged Ridge snorkel. That was a good add-on considering we went and done the part of the Florida Adventure Trail, and look forward to going back to the Ozarks, doing all 5 days of the Ozarks again. Very good add-on, peace of mind. And on the hood you're going to find the old faithful high lift jack. Sure, they get a lot of flack. There's probably some better options out there now, but when you need this to work, it's going to work. Just know how to use it safely. This jack is well over 25 years old. My wife bought this for me when we was off-roading right after we first got married and didn't have enough money to buy a winch. And you can use these as a winch. You can use these as a lot of things. There's a lot of different uses for these, and it works well for us, has worked well for us for over 25 years, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. Okay, underneath up front, you're going to find aluminum 1-ton steering, tie rod and drag link. You're going to find Dynatrac heavy-duty ball joints. Highly recommend those. You are also going to find front and rear Dana 44 iron covers, and they're blue, so that's a plus. You're also going to find a red metal cloak steering stabilizer that does not push as hard as the Fox 2.0 that I previously had on there. The Fox steering stabilizer was creating a push in the steering, so I was constantly having to input correction, and this one helps a lot. If anything, it makes the steering just a little too loose. The Fox was tight, but I was always having to add that correction in there. I like the firmness of the steering, but I was always having to input that correction, and I was getting some tiredness in my shoulder after long drives. We've got the JKS adjustable track bars on front and rear. For suspension, the Jeep is outfitted with a BDS long arm, 4.5 inches. I removed the factory 4.5 inch springs that comes with that kit and replaced them with the AEV 4.5 inch high capacity springs. I also replaced the Fox 2.0 shocks that came with that lift kit and added in the Falcon Series 3 adjustable shocks front and rear. Those are well worth the money. The addition of those AEV high capacity springs and those shocks with the adjustability greatly improved the drivability and the characteristics of the Jeep. That is the two main components that I'm most happy with on this entire build. Looking down the side of the Jeep, you're going to find 37-inch Maxxis Razor tires. You're going to find 18-inch KMC XD wheels that are very well worn. Forgot to also mention that the differentials are stuffed with 513 gears. As for brakes on this big heavy beast, I put in JL full brakes on the front. That is with the huge dual piston calipers, rotors, the whole 9 yards. The only modification you got to do to the front is you got to trim the brake shield just a little bit, the dust shield. Other than that, it's a complete bolt-on package. The calipers are huge, double piston compared to the factory JK ones, and of course the pads are a huge difference as well. Now moving on to the back, we put Gladiator JT brakes on the back. Calipers are the same, they stay the same. You don't replace those unless you just want to put new ones on, but they're the same size as factory. What the big difference of the upgrade is the pad size and the rotor size, and there's no modifications needed back there. Everything bolts up and goes in just as normal, but it is a substantial upgrade over stock. The only thing different that I would probably do would be add on later would be the J8 brake booster upgrade. That would probably provide substantial more stopping power over the factory JK booster. And if you're interested in seeing comparison pictures, go to my Kentucky Jeeper Facebook page, and if you'll scroll down through there, there's detailed pictures of the size comparisons of the standard brakes versus the upgraded brakes that I done. You're going to find Smittybilt Atlas fold down side steps that allows access to the roof area. You're going to find a cheap, no-name side step. This is not what I would consider a rock slider because this is not attached to the frame. That's what was in the budget at the time, and I just seriously needed something to where I could stand on to help reach the other steps to allow access for the roof. And those fit the bill. It's what I could afford, and that's what she got. Underneath, you're going to find a Adams front drive shaft. So I almost forgot. It's got the Smittybilt XRC rocker guards. They were on there when I bought the Jeep. I personally wouldn't put these on my Jeep. You've got to drill holes everywhere you see a bolt and put a nutsert in. And I just wouldn't do that personally. They were in there. That's what we got. That's what we're rocking with. Okay, the back of the Jeep. Probably one of the first things you're going to notice is this snazzy new license plate that Kentucky has came out with. You can thank the folks at Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway for pretty much doing the initiative and all the groundwork to get Kentucky to adopt a plate like this. And all the proceeds that go to that, $10 from all the money goes into an account to help the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway, and you can also apply for grants through them to receive some of that money to help establish or maintain other trails throughout the state of Kentucky. So OHV4KY, go to your clerk's office, get you one of those snazzy license plates to support the sport that we all love. So back here, you're going to find a cargo rack cargo basket, cargo carrier, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what brand this is. I know it did come off of Amazon. I got this off my friend James. He bought it for his Jeep and decided not to use it, and I bought it off him. But it serves a lot of purpose. It's very good for hauling our diesel heater. So if you see the big case up there with the gray fuel container, that's when we're carrying our diesel heater, and that's where we carry it at, is up here. Got the trasheroo. It's showing some age. It's got some rips and tears in it, but that's the first rear trash carrier that we ever bought, and it's still working. It's still good. These things are a bear to get on, especially with that type of spare holder. The bumper is the Smittybilt XRC and XRC tire carrier. Inside you're going to find another Amazon special, EAG, a drop down table. Sure, there's more expensive options out there, but everybody's got a budget, right? I added a magnetic strip to the front, so that way if you're cooking with metal utensils, you slap them up there, keep them up off of the ground or anything dirty around it. But that's where we put our stove when we're cooking. I have the power tank propane mount mounted to the rack over here with a small propane tank for cooking. I'm still able to access this lower panel right here. That's where we keep our propane hose. And flip the tailgate up. I have another Amazon special LED light strip. It runs right through here. And it is great for the nighttime, and you can adjust it different levels. It does not change colors. It stays white. But that's a good addition. Now all this up here is completely homemade. The only thing that is basically store-bought is the Iceco fridge slide. You got to have a good fridge slide. We use the Iceco JP50, first fridge we've ever owned, and it's never let us down. Still has the thermal insulation on it. I figured they give it to us, might as well put it on. So I went to the hardware store after looking at prices for the upper shelves, and I wasn't happy with the prices. So I went to the hardware store and bought all the materials to build this. So I built this and added aluminum strips just to clean the looks up a little bit to the front. Our 2-drawer cabinet was made by my family's cabinet shop in Ashland, Kentucky. I built everything, left them this free space, and I said I would need a 2-drawer cabinet that fits in that space, and that's what they built me. So kudos to them. Throw a few dollars their way. So by removing the lower drawer on the cabinet, I'm able to obtain access to the subwoofer location. Obviously we removed the subwoofer because, you know, we weren't going to be able to utilize it. So this lets you gain access to that storage area. And in that storage area, I keep a set of jumper cables, I keep some static tow ropes, and I got a big old well-used tree saver, and I've got ratchet straps, just stuff that you normally don't use all the time, but you really don't want to leave home without them. So that's just my secret little cubby hole there that I put in, and I can get to it if I need to. I also have this power station over here to the side. You'll notice that Jeeps don't come factory with this, so I wired that in. I did have to remove this panel and take a BFH and massage the inside of the panel there to get all that to fit. But it has USB port, it has cigarette lighter port, and it also will show you the voltage on the starter battery. You'll see here I have an aux beam switch panel, and I still have several ports left open. I think there's a famous movie quote that goes along with that. Look, so much more room for activities. If you get it, you get it. So I bet you're wondering what this is right here. This is an Aqua RV style water port. You see a lot of AU cabs and different campers with the gravity water port sticking out of the back. I didn't want that style. I wanted a more clean look. Wasn't real crazy about drilling a big hole in the Jeep, but I wanted that clean look, clean flush look. And this provides it. So you get on Amazon and you order this. You can probably go to their site as well, Aqua, and it comes with this. Put that in. It's wired up to the pump. Turn on the pump. I don't know if it'll build any pressure or not because I've got the tank almost drained. But I have a 12 volt pump and an accumulator tank that is plumbed into the Ironman 4x4 13-gallon water tank. And that hose runs around to the pump and then down into the tail light area and into this RV port. Turn on the pump, pressurize it. It's going to have some air in it at first. And then you got plenty of water. Drinking water, whatever, using around camp. It's one of the additions. No matter where we stop, we always use it. Always use it. You know, there's going to be some products that you don't use that much, but this is a product that we use every time we set up camp and stop. Every time. Just be sure when you shut it off and before you pull that out, you let the pressure off. Ask me how I know. I've been drowned a few times. So if we come to the back seat area of the Jeep, you will see the Ironman 4x4 13-gallon water tank that is securely strapped in and still allows use of the back seat. I do have the smaller section of the back seat removed. That way I can haul just a little bit more gear. Never know if we'll be hauling a passenger, but I wanted to leave at least a partial seat in there in case we did. Up top, you're going to see I repurposed a spider web shade that typically goes on the top. I repurposed it in to make an attic. I bought a grommet set off of Amazon and punched in a few more grommets on the edges. I got some paracording and webbed it into the sound bar area and the back roll bar area and also to the sides with some bungee cords. And that makes a very nice attic. All you gotta do is pull one of these bungee cords loose, and we keep all our jackets and coats and extra toilet paper and just umbrellas or whatever you can think of up here in the attic area. Also, you'll notice for the fridge, I have an ARB style plug-in, and that plug-in actually screws into this port, and you do not have to worry about it coming loose while you're on the trail. And so this is the plug-in for the refrigerator. Looks like a miniaturized household plug. So it goes in there, and you actually thread it in to the power port. And it goes in, and there's absolutely no way for your refrigerator to come unplugged while you're driving the trails. Absolutely no way. I'm telling you. We beat that thing to death. Currently, I've got it hooked up to our Blue Eddy AC 180 because I wanted to run the power down on the AC 180 to show you the next gadget we've got. This might be kind of hard to see. This is the Blue Eddy Charger 1. This has just recently came out from Blue Eddy. Just about like everyone else, we was always constantly running solar panels. So this is going to be just a little bit loud because I had to start the engine to show you the Blue Eddy Charger 1 and how it works. You always want to make sure the vehicle is running while you're using it. So what I was saying about the solar panels, we used to carry solar panels with us all the time. With the Blue Eddy Charger 1, really no need to carry them like we used to, because that Charger 1 basically will take the place of the solar panel setup. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, the Charger 1 charging cable is fed back to the cargo area, and I'm going to go ahead and plug it in to the Blue Eddy AC 180. I don't know if you can see that. It is at 91%. And watch the charging go up. Blue Eddy Charger 1 will charge at 500 watts input. You're not going to get that from a solar panel. The small solar panels that we use, you're not going to get that. So you can hook this up while you're driving. If you need to charge your Blue Eddy up, or your Jackery, you can use Jackery as well. But it's not going to charge it as fast as the Blue Eddy. You've got to check Jackery's input charging voltage and adjust it on the app. But look at her, she's charging at over 500, well, right at 500 watts. And at that rate, it says it's going to take 0.2 hours to fully top off. That's what's so special and why we like the Blue Eddy Charger 1. Just a good piece of equipment to have. Okay, stepping inside the front of the Jeep, one of the first things you're going to see is Bartax seat covers. These came with the Jeep when we bought it, and I always did like them, but I never would drop the money to buy them because they're just a little bit expensive. But I must say that after having them, I would purchase these in a heartbeat, and I will have them again if we get another Jeep later on. Get them dirty, get them stained, get them wet, whatever. Throw them in the washing machine, wash them, dry them, put them back on. They're great. I love them. Can't say enough about them. Another thing you're going to see up top, we got a molly panel for mounting different accessories. We've got a action cam mounted there for inside cab views. We've got homemade hothead headliners that Christy made. Need to shoot a little more glue behind the carpet there. It's sagging just a little bit on both sides, but they do good, cuts down the heat, and we got somewhere to mount our patches. Up high here, you're going to see another aux beam accessory controller for different electrical accessories, and we're going to see I've got all ram mounts. I use ram mount accessories for mounting everything to this Vector dash bar. So this dash bar holds all of our stuff. We've got, Christy's got a cell phone holder over here on her side. We run a Garmin Mini InReach SOS satellite locator when you're out in the backcountry and you don't have any cell phone service. But you know, that's changed a lot now. Cell phones have satellite messaging now, but it's always good to have redundancy. So I think this would work better in an emergency, the Garmin Mini InReach. But it's always nice to have that redundancy. You got your cell phone now. Of course, I've got a cell phone holder on my side. We also have an iPad holder in the middle of the dash here. We consistently run Gaia mapping software, and we've dabbled a little bit with Onyx. I really like Onyx. Has come out with the dispersed camping overlay in their map system, but we always find ourselves coming back to Gaia. Gaia's pretty nice. It's a little more intuitive, a lot more options and map layers. We run a Midland MXT 575 for comms, GRMS radio. I've got it mounted down here, and Ike's on the dash. We've got Jeep brand old crap handles on all four corners, all four doors. I've got So these seat covers got webbing, molly webbing on the sides and the back. So we've got another Midland handheld comms there. We've got the window breaker and seatbelt cutter mounted to the side here. Well, I forgot to mention earlier, we've also got full-blown first aid kit mounted on the headrest there. We've also got a first aid kit mounted down here on the back of the seat. And the star of the show is our Wolf Box rear view mirror dash cam. Driving an overland vehicle like we've got, you can't see nothing out the back glass. When that thing's packed full of stuff back there, you're blind. All you can use is your two side mirrors. So I had to have another option. With this rear view mirror dash cam, I mean, it's constantly recording. You get 4K. You get 4K out the front, and then you get 2.5K out the rear. And you can also have a split screen. You've got rear and front and rear. It's got all kinds of different options. And yeah, I don't know what all it does, but it serves its purpose. I can see out the back of the Jeep when we're stuck full of stuff. Had to put me a little reminder up here, clearance 8 foot 4 inches, because I forget. Don't want to drive through, rip everything off the roof. Also got a little RV style bubble parked in my garage because my garage is level, and then I put that on there. I've also got another one attached to the tent sideways, so I know front to rear if it's level. But that's about it for the inside the cockpit view of the big blue beast. Okay, for a roof rack, we went with the Smittybilt rack. It wasn't exactly what we were wanting at the time, but due to COVID restraints and all the shipping yards being closed, that's about all we could come up with. It's got a little bit of weight to it, which, you know, but it works great for what we're using it for. So starting up front, you're going to see this cargo basket. I don't know if any of you recognize it or not, but you can get that on Amazon. That is a Reese hitch rear cargo basket. Slides in your rear Reese hitch. I took the Reese hitch part off of it, painted it black, mounted it on the roof, and it fits absolutely perfect right here in this location. All I had to have was one extra crossbar to mount it to. You mount the front through the light tabs on the Smittybilt rack. So our tent is the Tough Stuff Alpha. It's been a good tent. I've tried to take very good care of it by keeping the tent in the garage while we're not using it, instead of leaving it outside in the sun and the weather. Tough Stuff has went through some problems with delaminating. Their tents will delaminate if left out in the weather. What I mean by delaminating is the clear coat will start coming off the top, and then you're left with clear coat peeling and bubbles all over your top. I know if you're in a particular warranty period and it starts to do that, they have warranted some of them. They want you to field destroy it, cut it in half, and send them pictures of it, and they'll ship you another tent. But luckily, I've not, knock on wood, Lord, I've not had that happen. But that is the larger Alpha tent. They do offer an Alpha 2, which is slightly smaller and lighter. If there's any complaints that I've got with this tent, it would be the weight. It's a little bit heavy. And when it comes a downpour rain, it will collect water towards the doorway. It sags and it will collect water. My solution to that is I've got a fiberglass pole that comes with a regular 3-person dome tent, those sectionable fiberglass poles, and I extend one of those in there and run it from left side to right side and create a bow in the middle and pushes that roof up higher, and that water will run off. If I've got that up while it's pouring rain, I do not have any water collecting at the top. Right there you can see our Midland ghost antenna for our radio. So the awnings we're running are the ARB touring awnings, front and rear. This front awning has an LED color changing light that runs in the center of it. It'll switch from yellow to white light, and you can adjust the brightness. One downfall on that is now we have developed a leak in the awning right where that strip, I guess, where it is sewed through there in heavy downpours. We get drips all along the middle of the awning where that light is. So I bought some sealer off of Amazon. I'm going to try to seam seal it, see if that helps. Something ARB probably needs to take care of on their in their R&D department. The rear awning is smaller awning, and that works great for the cooking area. I'm not going to pop the awnings out right now or the tent because it's about 95 degrees right now and it's humid. I bet some of you are wondering, well, hey, what about the problems you had while you went on the Florida Adventure Trail and coming up back through Georgia on the way home? I know you mentioned in your videos that you was having some problems and the Jeep was making all kinds of noise in the back. So yes, we had a bunch of problems with the Jeep while we was gone on that trip, and we chose just to send it. If it left us beside the road, it left us beside the road. So we just rock and rolled it on the back roads all the way back to eastern Kentucky. Didn't get on the interstate to try to press our luck. Kept our speeds down, paid attention to the Jeep, and it wasn't getting any worse, but it wasn't getting any better. So when we got back home to eastern Kentucky here, started looking for somebody to fix it. Called some really good garages, and they were weeks, if not a month and a half, 2 months out to even getting in to look at it. Actually made a trip all the way to one particular garage, and they looked at it and said it could be this, this, and this. And they never even really mentioned the rear end. I kind of knew that it was the rear end, and charged me a couple $100 to send me on my way. Not a good way to do business. But anyways, so we end up finding a guy named Kent who operates Off-Road and Overland Unlimited in Georgetown, Kentucky. He's also an ASC certified master mechanic. He is also a very avid off-roader, Jeep enthusiast, and overlander. So, hey, he checks a lot of boxes, and he's very smart, very competent, and he takes care of his customers. All the way through the repair process, he would call me with questions and let me know what was going on, what he'd found, and I can't recommend him highly enough. This is one of his t-shirts. I don't know if you can read that. If not, we'll throw it up on the screen. That's his phone number. Highly recommend him. So what ended up being the major problem child was the rear pinion bearing, just as I suspected. The rear pinion bearing was toast. So Kent tore into it, and with his expertise, he was able to totally rebuild the rear end and get it going. We had him look at some other problems, questionable issues that we thought we might have, and he addressed all of them very intuitively and paid particular attention to my interests and my concerns all the way throughout the whole process. And hats off to Kent. Can't thank him enough and his company. Hope you've enjoyed the video. You know, it's just an old 2015 Rubicon, 127,000 miles on it. That's what gets us out here on these adventures. You don't have to have a $200,000 rig, $100,000 rig. You drive what you got right now. If you don't do it, you're going to be missing out. You got to get out there and make these memories, folks. Make the memories. Time is all you got. Something I just about forgot to mention. Hey, if you like our videos, please like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Me and my wife, we never know where we're going to end up next. My name's Will. My wife's name's Christy. Love you, man.